Hey guys, Gratokage here, and I'm very happy to start this series, ironically flying Marcus Bethana. But nonetheless, we're going to be kicking off this most basic of a series, basic concepts within the series, and that's finding wormholes. Nonetheless, let's get going, and worry not, this is very newbro friendly, and also very much veteran friendly for people not into wormholes yet, so I'm trying to balance the two. But either way, sit back, relax, crack open a cold one, and let's get started. Now, I need to make something very clear. Wormholes are a fucking dangerous place. Extremely dangerous. And I'm kicking this series off, if you can't tell, at Jita. So I feel very inclined to warn you that wormholes near Jita can and will be camps, so be careful and be mindful. In case you don't know what a camp is, it means some guys are sitting and waiting for you to bring them some kill marks. So unless you're a ranger ready to inform them they don't have camping permits, it's best to avoid wormholes around trade hubs. That being said, feel free to take some risks. I know I will, and for this series, we're going to be kicking it off around Jita, so hopefully I do run into a camp for this footage. I don't think I will, because it doesn't happen as often as I'm trying to bring it up as it does, but you never know. This is the part where I tell you if you don't like scanning, well, wormholes aren't for you, da-da-da. Yeah. Moving forward, you're going to need astrometric skills because you want to scan those fuckers. And you're going to want to train all, if it says astrometrics, train it to level 3 right away, right now. It takes a couple hours, just get it to level 3. And you're also going to want to use a cloak, so make sure you have cloaking skills. And since there's new bros among us for this video, I feel inclined to remind people that the Magic 14 is a thing and it exists. I'll leave a link for it in the description. Now, so in order to start finding wormholes, we're going to need a probe scanner. Get the probe scanner 1. And if you're blingy, go ahead, get yourself that sister variant, you know? I see you out there. Now, if you got the skills, which I don't, get the Tech 2 variant. Pretty good, and it's actually cost effective, but I am not training Astromedics to 5. That's a 28-day train. No thank you. Load that launcher with some sister core probes, or core probe 1s if you ain't got the money. Nonetheless, if you haven't noticed, I haven't mentioned ship yet. Quite frankly, any scanner will do. It just depends what you want to get out of it. Sometimes I scan with my Enforcer, which has a scan strength of 67. Other times I scan with my Legion, which has a scan strength of 80. Most of the time, I scan with my Anathema, which has a scan strength of 108. So the question is, what role is your ship playing? Is it a true, at the end of the day, hardcore scanner that just wants to scan and pump out those numbers? Or is it a hunter, like my Legion and Enforcer? Depends on what you want. Do note, higher your scan strength, easier it is to scan down some of these SIGs. So for this video, we're going to get ourselves into a dedicated scanner. This video is new bro friendly, so I'm outfitting a Tech 1 scanner, which I am sitting in right now, this little magnet. Tech 1 scanners also include the probe, Imicus, and the Heron. Now getting on to the fits for this thing, I got this magnet fitted out pretty simply. I'll be displaying little variants for every flavor that there is, but as you can see, I have a probe launcher with some sister core probes, a cloak, some range finding, some acquisition, micro warp drive, a DCU because I was able to fit it, and 2 inertial stabilizers. I think I pronounced it right for once. As you can see here, my align time is less than 3 seconds, and for this video and for all sake and purposes, that's basically insta-warp. That'll help us out in the future, that'll help us out a lot. This is that kind of ship that just wants to be an insta-warper. Do know when you have your micro warp drive on, it is not an instant warper, it's a 4-second warper. So just keep that in mind. I think I'm going to address the cost real quick. Most of this money is in the sister cores and the cloak. This thing is not 11 mil normally. If you're just like, oh my god, that's a lot of money. If you're that new bro-ish, just downgrade to the scan probe 1s, you'll be fine. Ignore the cloak, just keep in mind you got to bounce around a lot if someone's trying to find you. Set up some safes, you know, do your thing. But 11 mil should be in your budget. Now, as you can tell, for this video, I went ahead and went with the efficiency route. I put these in If you want to be a hero tackle, you would put in a web and a scram. If you wanted to be a data relic analyzer dude, you'd put in a data analyzer and a relic analyzer. It's that simple. So fit your ship how you need it. For this video, I'm going to go scan some shit, try to find a wormhole, and I want efficiency. So that's why I went with here. And I try to keep it simple for the sake of the new bros. While we're talking about new bros and we're talking about this ship, one thing extremely important in wormhole space is the fact that covert ops is king. That's end of story. So your goal at the end of the day, if you're really going to get into wormholes, is to make sure you have a cov op ships. For new bros and those who may not know, that's going to be this ship right here. As I said earlier, I'm on my ult. So cov op ships. There's an anathema. My ult can't fly it. So what does my ult fly? An Astero. Alright, so let's go ahead, slap that undock button, and we'll start getting our checklist going before we go find some wormholes for y'all. First thing we're going to do is actually open up this little button right here. It's called the Agency tab. It's one of these new things they released within a year or so. We're going to go for Exploration, and we're going to go for Cosmic Signatures. This is how we're going to find things around HiSec. It gives us a little roadmap that we can use. That way we don't have to blindly search. Can't tell, we're here in Jita. As I said earlier, systems around Jita are probably going to be hole camped. I would hole camp anything within 4 jumps of Jita. That's me. We're gonna jump any wormhole we find, not out of fear or anything, just because we're gonna jump it. But this is basically where we're searching. We're trying to find something inside here because we're not trying to go too far. How can we simply do that? Look at the roadmap. We can see there's 4 signatures in this system, 4 signatures there. I think our best luck would be these 2 with the 4 signatures. Signatures around like trade hubs like Jita tend to be wormholes because the other signatures get run so often and so quickly. Good luck, man. Caught me off guard. So let's go ahead and actually head on over to one of these 4s. I'm going to set destination, jump through Stargate. I will meet you guys over there. Alright, currently in warp, and I'm going to take the time to actually address 2 things. I have my probe scanner open at all times on all my screens if you watched any of my videos. I also have my D-scan open at all times. I might not D-scan enough, but I always have it open. Please, for the love of God, detach it from the solar system map and put it on your screen. In wormhole space, you don't have local, so your only way to see what's around you is your D-scan. That is it. Probe scanner. Why would you want to keep this on your screen if you're getting into wormhole space? A big thing later on is going to be something called SigWatch. That's when someone rolls into you and they actively probably rolled into you, and therefore they're going to send a scout through. So if you're ratting and you don't notice that a new signature popped up, and then next thing you know you weren't D-scanning, then that scout is now in covert ops on you, watching you rat and letting their friends know that you're ratting. So it's very important to have your probe scanner up and your D-scan up and trying to use your D-scan. Now, we have arrived at our area that we are going to start scanning. I'm going to scan one site with explanation for the new bros in case they don't know. I don't know how these tutorials do nowadays, but what we're going to do is we're going to click our probes to launch them. They are now launched and around us. We're going to open our solar system map and we're going to look around. Now, all these are unknown. They could be anything. They could be data, or they could be a wormhole. We're hoping they're wormholes. So just choose one, WLI. See how they're in pinpoint formation. Just make sure they're in pinpoint formation. Drag it on over. Put it. Drag it on up. Put it. Now you see how the red circle is bigger than this? That's because we need to be at 8 AU. Analyze. Your skills will increase the time that it takes the probes to go to that area, the time that it takes to cycle it, and the strength overall. Now when something like this happens, I always think it's that corner bit. I call this the donut, although it's not really a donut. Now, one thing we can do is we can skip 4 and go to 2. And I hope this works. The donut doesn't always work for this, but... Oh, the donut worked for that. We got another donut. Are you kidding me? 2 donuts? Alright, so we can click it, and now we can orbit around it pretty nicely. And the way the donut works is just like the farthest edge of the circle from your probes. So I'm just going to put that right there. Pull it down. I'm only going to drop 1. I would drop to 0.5, but because of the donut, I'm going to keep it at 1. There we go. I'm going to finish this off in a second. Drop down to 0.5. And it's a data site. Not what we want. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go find a, wormhole. And I will be back when I find it, because I got some more information for you guys. But this is how you find the anomalies. You keep scanning them, and one of them will be a wormhole. Hopefully one of these. Alright. Didn't take long. I'm in the same system. I ignored 2, so actually, let me clear all ignored. First one was a data site, second one I ran into was a relic, and the third one I'm on is a wormhole. I have not fully scanned it, so now I'm going to finish it off. Alright, right click, warp 2. Now if I was covert ops right now and I was cloaked, you can safely right click warp 2 because the anomaly is a little distance from the actual wormhole itself. So you won't decloak when you warp to them. Unless you go through it, which is very rare. Let's go ahead, reload. And we are at our first wormhole. Beautiful. This is a large K162. Let's see where it leads. Leads to unknown space. Unknown space means C1 to C3 space. That's the kind of space we're looking for this kind of like series, because it's very Nubro friendly. It's very first time to wormhole friendly. We can read this first line. So this is the 3 bits of information that really matter. Line 1. This wormhole is beginning to decay and probably won't last another day. Every single wormhole says this. But when it says this wormhole is beginning to reach its end of life cycle, then you know that this wormhole will die within 4 hours. Every wormhole in Eve will die. So when we come back tomorrow, if I save this right here, which you should, by the way, let's just call it N. So save it to personals. It will not be here tomorrow. By tomorrow, I mean 24 hours. Every wormhole will die within a certain amount of time. Most wormholes are about 16 hours. Some wormholes are 20. A lot of larger, like high-class wormholes are 24 hours. This wormhole right here, I'm guessing because it's an unknown wormhole, it's a lower-class wormhole, probably lasts about 16 to 18 hours plus the 4 hours EOL. Has not yet reached EOL, so it's a healthy wormhole. Line 2 is about the mass. This wormhole has not yet had its stability significantly reduced by ships passing through it. Every single wormhole says this. This is stage 1 healthy. Very healthy wormhole. This means that the mass left on this wormhole is above 50% its total mass, jump mass. Every wormhole has a certain amount of mass it can allow through it. You got to think a battleship is about 100,000 tons. A 2 mil wormhole will allow 20 battleships before it crashes. Yeah. So this is safe. After this, it'll say this wormhole has reduced, but not to a critical degree. That's called stage 2 reduced. And then that means it's at 50% or below mass. And then the one you got to very much worry about and watch for is verged. Stage 3 verged. It'll say this wormhole has had its mass reduced to a critical degree and is on the verge of rolling. So you got to be careful about those, because if you jump it, you can roll it and get stuck on the other side. Line 3 is info about the ship size. If you didn't notice, I warped to it and I looked at it and I knew the size. This white aura is a signature of large wormholes. There's also extra large, which have a massive orange aura. Actually, massive. There's medium, which have a greenish aqua aura. And there's frigate holes, which have, or small, which have a blue aura. Those just determine the largest ship that can jump through it. If you're a data relic kind of guy, and you're looking to do data relic sites in your frigate, you don't care what size hole. You want the frigate holes because that's an easy way to escape from people, you know? But if you're a scout looking for a good wormhole for your friends to rat in, you know, your friends are all in battleships, and you show up and you find a medium hole, and then they get there and they can't jump it, you know, you look like a dummy. Just read it. What is it? You can also look at it. So let's go ahead. Let's jump on in for y'all. Show y'all what the inside of a wormhole is, and the number one thing you should do when you jump a wormhole. Alright. Number one thing you should do when you jump a wormhole, right click, save location, star out, boom, save your way out. We look inside, we got a Gnosis here, 2 mobile depots, and this is why you keep your D-scan open all the time, alright? Directional scanner. Keep it open because it auto-scans when you jump holes. Got some sister cores out, don't know what that's about. But yeah, this is wormhole space, man. If I can quickly search this, let me, for y'all. G15 2801 Eve. It's a class 2. It's not bad. You can find relic data sites in here. There's easier combat sites in here. Yeah, this video is all about finding the wormholes. I'm gonna get content out on huffing, content out on data relic sites, content out on C2 ratting, which is like an intro, dip your toes into it. It's actually this wormhole. Content out on C3 ratting, which is the cream of the crop for wormhole space for non-marauder stuff. It's really, C3 ratting is really nice. It's a very good intro point to making a lot of money independently. I might make stuff on C4, C5 ratting. We will see, and we'll definitely get some content up. I mean, our entire YouTube channel is just content of us fighting inside wormhole space, so I'll get some PvP stuff up too. More like guides and how we mentally think behind things. But nonetheless, thanks for tagging along. I hope this helps you find your wormhole, and best of luck.